just saw Loving Vincent. Now this is a movie that's about Vincent Van Gogh, his life, and it was done by painting. Like, they used his paintings as a visual reference and they sort of animated his paintings. They had 100 artists painting each frame of the film. And then they had actors, so the actors could sort of give the animation a realistic feel. It's a number of great actors and actresses in it. Visually, one of the most interesting films I've ever seen, maybe, because I've never seen anything like it. It was really extraordinary. It kind of reminded me of Waking Life, a movie from years ago, where it had this kind of painter aesthetic on the animation. But it's about his life. He has a very interesting life. They made some narrative choices. Like, the movie is not from Vincent Van Gogh's perspective, but rather people around him. And I thought that was an interesting, odd choice. Let's see, what do I want to say about this? So what was exciting about it is when you would see like a painting from Vincent, like, and then they'd sort of go into it or go around it, but you would get these, oh, I've seen that painting, oh, I know that painting, oh, and his colors. So even when they did this thing where it was, the flashback was gray and the present day was color, and so every time his colors came on, it was like trippy and alive, and it was fun and exciting. But so for that purpose only, I say you should see this. Now, it was lacking some things narratively. So overall, I'll give it like a 75 out of 100, but I think you should see it and see it on the big screen, and I think eventually this will be maybe on PBS or shown in classrooms or art history college classes as a sort of great sort of autopsy of Van Gogh's life.
Okay, obviously Ian had a whole lot more to say about this movie than I do. So, it was interesting. The visuals were very interesting. Like Ian was talking about, each frame was like painted, and it was kind of cool to watch like a lantern with like these like flecking specks of like paint around it moving, or like the stars were flickering, but it was like paint. Like they looked like they were changing the brush strokes on the paint in the sky like over and over and over again, which is really neat. Or I think one of my favorite parts of the visually was like the scene where they were in the sky and then these clouds came up from the bottom and like moved up like this, and it was like the whole screen kind of fills up with this paint strokes, which is, it's interesting. The story itself, I guess, takes place like in a year after he dies, and this I guess friend, he calls himself a friend, but he's not really a friend of Vincent Van Gogh, is trying to bring a letter to his brother, and it goes through the storyline of what he has to go through to deliver this letter, and learning about his death, and you know, there was some questions about how he died and why he was shot in the stomach, and did he really kill himself or did somebody kill him, and they you know, we'll never know. You know, that's historical fact. We'll never know that what actually happened. But he was an interesting guy, and I think you get that from this movie, and some facts that maybe if you're not an avid Vincent Van Gogh, you know, historian, you get some facts that maybe were interesting. You know, that you learn a little bit. You learn a little bit. It's visually interesting. So I think overall I'd give it maybe a 70 out of 100, and I'd say just for the visual aspect, you might want to see it in a theater if you can find it in a theater. Otherwise, I think it's fine to watch at home in the dark with a good color TV. I mean, I think you're going to pick up the same idea.
Tripping on acid.
Well, you know, there's some fun visual stuff that, you know, is interesting. Let's just put it that way.